Well, hey everybody, my name is Johnny. I'm a believer. I struggle with alcoholism and codependency. And just like a few days ago, we put out a video. Actually, I put out a video a couple days ago, and then Mac and Mary Owen put a video out on this page as well. And I just thought we were going to keep it up because we're still in this time where things seem so out of place. And as we are all dealing with the new reality of what life is like in 2020 with the coronavirus, I thought, well, let's just kind of keep doing this kind of stuff. And so I thought today what I would do is kind of read through something that we say at the end of all of our meetings, and it's the Serenity prayer. And it's a prayer that that many of us in Celebrate Recovery have memorized. It's one that we often say, but I think we say it too often. At least I say it too often without thinking very much about what it is that I'm saying. So I thought we'd just kind of go through it a little bit. We're not going to take too long today, but I just thought we'd just take a minute to kind of go through the Serenity prayer because I think it's really important. And so I've got one of my participant guides here, and Serenity prayer, the full version says this: God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That's sort of the bullet points, right? That's the one that we see on a lot of material. And it's the beginning of the prayer. And it's a really important part of the prayer. And I think as we're in this time, it's one that we got to really make sure that we're getting that in the right order, that we need to accept the things I cannot change. Guys, there's so many things going on right now that I am totally powerless over. And so are you. And as much as we might worry about it, or as much as we might want to change things, there are some things we cannot change. My son was supposed to play in a basketball tournament that got canceled because of the coronavirus. We couldn't have that many people together, and his team had worked so hard. They had to win games, and he had to actually earn a spot on the team. And then right before we were supposed to leave to go to this tournament, it got canceled, and he couldn't go. And we were pretty sad in the Baker family. And I kept coming back to this, that Jimmy, there's nothing we can do. We're powerless over this. And we have to accept the fact we can't change it. So we're asking God to be able to accept the things that we cannot change. And then we need to have the courage to change the things that we can. There are things in our lives that we do need to be a part of. There's God's part and there's our part. And so when we're praying this prayer, we're saying, God, show me the things that I can't control and let me just accept those. But when I need to do something, give me the courage to take the action that I need to take. So let me ask you, what's going on in your life right now that you can actually take some action on? Are there things that you can do? Are there phone calls you can make? Are there people you can talk to? Are there meetings you can go to that will help you as you begin this journey or take your next step on your road to recovery? Accept the things you cannot change. Have the courage to change the things that you can. And then we ask God for the wisdom to know the difference. Isn't that sort of the missing piece right there? I often spend way too much time focusing on those things that I can't change and far too little time actually doing things about the things that I can change. So we're asking God, show me or give me the acceptance over those things that are outside of my control. Give me the courage to follow through and do the things I can do. And then give me the wisdom to know the difference between the two. How are we going to do that? We're going to continue praying, living one moment at a time, enjoying one moment at a time. Guys, we talk about in recovery, we live one day at a time, after one day at a time, after one day at a time. And this prayer helps us remember that. God, I only have these 24 hours. Heck, I only have this moment right now. Allow me to enjoy this moment. Don't get so caught up in the past over things that were done or things that you did that were wrong. Don't get so caught up in the future that you're worried about what's to come, but help me live in today and help me enjoy this moment. I don't know about you, but not all of my moments are enjoyable. So I'm asking God, let me enjoy this moment. Accepting hardship as a pathway to peace. Man, I got to be honest, I wish this wasn't in this prayer. Because I don't like hardship. And I don't like thinking that hardship is going to lead me to peace. But remember, this is the Serenity prayer. We're asking God for his peace or his serenity. And he uses those hard times, those things that we cannot change, to lead us to peace. So again, we're back to acceptance. We're back to accepting that not everything in this life is going to be easy. If we turn on the news right now, I think that's pretty evident. But we're going to remember that something is going to come out of these hard times that are going to lead us to peace. And we're going to do this, where I ask him to help us that taking as Jesus did this sinful world as it is, not as I would have it. Do you ever look around this world and go, God, why are you letting this happen? Why is all of this going on? And then you realize that people who have believed in God through history have asked that same question. And we don't know, right? I don't know why God's allowing some of these things to happen, but I'm going to understand that this is the world as it is, not as I would have it, because that's not all there is. And again, this goes back to acceptance again. We're accepting hardship. We're accepting the things that we cannot change. We're accepting this world doesn't even look like we want it to. As we have this virus outbreak all over the world, and so many people are scared and so many people are nervous. And as things are getting closed and our world seems to kind of be spinning out of control, this isn't how we want it. But we also have faith that this isn't all there is. So we're going to take it just like Jesus did, that this is the sinful world as it is. And as he prayed, not my will, but yours be done, the same prayer comes from us. And then we trust that you will make all things right if I surrender to your will. There it is again. There's that your part, God, and my part. I trust you. You're going to make all things right, but I have to surrender to your will. My will and God's will are not the same thing. Trust me, I wish his will was more like mine, but it's not. So we have to trust that he will make all things right if I surrender to your will. And we wrap up this prayer by saying, so that I may be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with you forever in the next. Amen. And there's that wrap up, that this world is not all there is, that I may not be fulfilled and completely happy in this life, but I know that when I'm with him, I will be. So this prayer, this serenity prayer that we pray at the end of every Celebrate Recovery meeting, like I said, for me, it can often become trite. It can become routine. It can be something that I just read off the screen or read off the paper, and I can just kind of go into automatic reciting mode. But I want to encourage you, the next time you pray this prayer, I want to encourage you to really think through each one of these lines. Slow down, and really, when you do pray, don't just say the words, but say, God, grant me the serenity. Stop for a little bit and say, what would serenity look like in my life? What does that even mean, God? What kind of peace am I looking for? So God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. God, what's happening in my life right now that I can't change? Would you help me accept it? And the courage to change the things I can. Would you show me the next step I should take, the next right thing I should do? And then the wisdom to know the difference. God, would you show me the two different things so I don't spend so much time trying to change things I can't control and not enough time actually doing the things you're asking me to do, and go through this prayer line by line that way. In fact, I would encourage you to do it now. After you shut off this video, I would encourage you to get out one of your participant guides or some of your CR material and sit down with it and pray through this prayer line by line. Maybe even have a pencil and a piece of paper ready so that as he shows you things that you need to accept that you've been trying to change but you can't, write those down. When he shows you the next steps to follow through, write those down. And as he works in you to lead you to that peace, remember that serenity, that peace is possible, that God promises it to us. So I want to encourage you to, if you're starting to stress out this week, if you're starting to go through something in the next few days, just stop yourself and begin praying this prayer. I want to encourage you to do that every day. And I also want to encourage you to let somebody know that you're doing it. You can either leave a comment below, or you can call your accountability partner or sponsor, which would probably be better than leaving a comment, but feel free to leave a comment below. Or the next time you go to Celebrate Recovery, tell somebody what you're doing and invite them to go along with you. One way you can let people know about what you're doing is to like and comment on this video, share it with other people so they know about it and so more people can hear about Celebrate Recovery. Like I said earlier, we're going to try to put out more and more of these videos, so we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.